Gareth Southgate's got just 2 games left to sort out his England squad for Euro 2024. And guess what? Those games are just around the corner. But wait, there's a twist. Injuries have hit hard, leaving Southgate scratching his head. With players like Trent Alexander-Arnold and Curtis Jones out of action, he's facing some tough decisions. But hey, no time to dwell on what could have been. There's still plenty of questions to answer before the big tournament kicks off. The first and foremost doubt is it time to stop relying on wingers? Now, there's been a lot of chatter about Foden's best position, whether Saka or Foden should own the right flank, and if Rashford or Gordon should hold down the left. But what if we took a more straightforward approach to our attack? 2 strikers up front, with 4 midfielders behind them. Imagine Kane teaming up with Tony or Watkins, while Bellingham orchestrates from the number 10 spot, backed by Rice as the anchor, and 2 midfielders holding down the centre. Or switch things up with Bellingham as an 8, Maddison as a 10, and Rice at the 6, with maybe even Trent adding some creativity from the midfield. So now we have got a question. Is Kobbie Mainoo ready? You know, the rising star from Manchester United who's been turning heads. Seriously, this kid's been on fire, stepping up when it matters most. And guess what? With England's midfield puzzle still unsolved, Mainoo might just be the missing piece. I mean, come on, Casemiro, Eriksen, Amrabat. They've all had their ups and downs, but Mainoo? Consistent as ever. Gareth Southgate's already made a smart move promoting him to the senior squad, but now it's time to take it up a notch. Throw him in the mix, give him a chance to shine. Sure, it might be a bit of a challenge, but hey, challenges are what make us stronger, right? England's midfield needs a hero, and Mainoo could be just the hero they've been waiting for. Alright, let's look into another question. Can Henderson still start? You know Jordan Henderson, the midfield player who's been under the microscope since his stint at Al Ettifaq last summer. Yeah, that Henderson. These days he's with Ajax, but his spot in the England squad? It's still up for debate. Sure, Southgate's been sticking by his side, but let's be real, the jury's still out. Since he landed in Amsterdam, it hasn't been all that great for Hendo. Critics are on his case for playing it too safe, and let's face it, Ajax hasn't been setting the world on fire either. His recent outings with England? Meh, nothing to write about. Now don't get me wrong, his leadership, top-notch. But will he be clocking in minutes on the field? That's the big question. Southgate's banking on him to step up and shut down the doubters. But if he falters again, it might be time to explore other options for that midfield magic. Now, who's the best plan B up front? Harry Kane, our main man, takes a knock, and suddenly panic sets in. It's a nightmare scenario for any England supporter. But hey, it's happened before. And it could happen again. So what's the game plan if Kane's sidelined? Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins, both in the squad for these upcoming clashes. One of them could step up to the plate, right? But hey, could Southgate throw us a curveball? I'm talking about Jude Bellingham here. He's been killing it as a false 9 for Real Madrid. So could he do the same for England? Well, Southgate seems a bit hesitant. He's like, yeah, Jude's doing great, but we need to mix things up. But hey, you never know. Bottom line, figuring out who's the best backup for Kane is a top priority this international break. Let's zoom in on another question. Who's playing left back? Now, England's fullback game has been top-notch for a while, but heading into the Euros, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Luke Shaw's been sidelined with injuries, Ben Chilwell's been facing his own set of challenges at Chelsea, and Kieran Trippier's been a bit hit or miss lately. So who's going to step up? Well, in this recent squad, it looks like Chilwell and Joe Gomez are the frontrunners. But here's the thing. Southgate might just switch them up during the games. Gomez brings that defensive steel, but Chilwell's got that attacking flair. Tough call, right? And hey, if neither of them hits the mark, there's still Shaw and Trippier waiting in the wings, ready to prove their worth. Now, what's the centre-back pecking order? Now, we all know John Stones and Harry Maguire are the dynamic duo at the heart of England's defence. But what if one of them's out? Or if Southgate wants to switch things up with a back 3? That's where it gets interesting. Mark Guehi was looking like a solid choice, but his injury's thrown a wrench into the plans. And Fikayo Tomori? Well, he's had his moments, but Southgate's been a bit hesitant. Now, in the current squad, we've got Lewis Dunk from Brighton and Jared Branthwaite from Everton stepping up to the plate, with Branthwaite getting his first call-up. Talk about pressure, right? And let's not forget about Ezri Konsa from Aston Villa, itching for his debut after being in the mix before. Oh, and Levi Colwill would have been in the mix too if it weren't for his injury. So Southgate's got his work cut out for him. He's got a bunch of options, but he's got to narrow it down real quick. These next 2 games, they're crucial for shaping up that rock-solid defense. Now the next question would be, what would you do with Palmer? Now, Cole Palmer's journey to England's Euro 2024 squad seemed like a long shot just a year ago. Back then, he was barely getting a look in at Manchester City. But fast forward to now, and he's taken a bold leap to Chelsea, where he's become a standout player. Seriously, this kid's been on fire. He even made his senior England debut last break, and his form's only gotten better since then. But here's the question. How do you make the most of Palmer's talents? He's been playing out wide for England, but he's versatile, right? He could shine in an advanced midfield role or even as a false 9. And then there's the tricky part. How many minutes does he get? I mean, Palmer's in top form, but we've also got Bukayo Saka, who's been solid for England. It'd be a gutsy move by Southgate to bench Saka for someone who's still finding his feet in the national team. Alright, let's unpack another crucial aspect. Which big names are missing out? Now, as we gear up for the Euros, there's one harsh reality we can't ignore. Some heavy hitters won't make the cut for Southgate's squad this time around. Unlike Euro 2020 and the 2022 World Cup, where squads could swell to 26 players, this time we're back to the standard 23, which means tough decisions lie ahead. Among those sweating over their spots are Marcus Rashford and Jack Grealish. Both have had lackluster seasons, opening the door for up-and-comers like Palmer, Gordon and Bowen. Rashford's got a shot to prove himself against Brazil and Belgium, but Grealish? Well, he's sidelined with injury, making his case even trickier. Southgate's not mincing words either, emphasizing the fierce competition for spots. Marcus has a battle on his hands. So has Jack. It's all about performance on the field, folks, but off-field conduct, that matters too. With players like Rashford and Grealish under scrutiny, every moment counts. Alright, let's tackle the final one. Is it finally time to loosen the handbrake? Now, Southgate's been at the helm for a good while, and if this is going to be his trick with England, he's got one last shot to make it count. We've seen some solid performances under his watch. Finals, semis, quarters. But can he take us to that next level? With Bellingham, Kane and Rice making waves in the football world, our squad's looking stronger than ever. But here's the thing. Are we outgrowing Southgate's tactics? Some say we need to take the handbrake off, let loose, go all out. But hold up, tournaments aren't won by playing wild and free. We need Southgate to be proactive, to make those bold moves when it counts. And let's not forget, our defense needs some serious shoring up. So what's the game plan, Gareth? Are we going to cruise through the groups only to get knocked out by a powerhouse like France or Portugal in the semis? So there you have it, guys. Now, what are your thoughts on these potential game changers? We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you found this discussion as interesting, show your support by smashing that like button and sharing this video with your buddies. And hey, if you don't want to miss out on more content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay tuned, stay awesome, and we'll catch you in the next episode.